So today I want to talk about being in between life seasons. A lot of us are in a place where we've come out of what, in the faith community, we talk about going from wineskin to wineskin. Outside of the faith community, sometimes we say it's like I'm going from one life season to the next life season. But a lot of people feel stuck when they're in between life seasons because in the old life season, they went through something that they haven't really reconciled. And so I want to talk about that. I see four different types of people come into the CanaGlobal community, and especially into the Entrepreneur Accelerator. Most of these people between seasons are really looking for purpose. And they've come to a place in their life where they're looking for that really specific assignment, and they see this entrepreneurial journey as that leading to their purpose. And so here's the four types of experiences that I hear, and in my book, His Plan, My Plan, I talk about this. The first group, and this is how they self-describe when you talk to them. The first group are what we call the setbacks. And these are people that have gone through something in life, a great setback that has really shaken them to the core. It might be somebody who got a divorce late in life, or somebody who lost a business, or somebody who was displaced in their job. And whatever's happened, it set them back. And it's been a major event in their life. And they're trying to figure out, God, why did you let this happen to me? What happened? And so this is a particular kind of pain that if you're in this category, I understand. I've been there before. There's been many setbacks in my life, different troubles and seasons in life that seem very unfair. And you're wondering, God, how did you let this happen? Well, one of the things that we're going to talk about later in the week is we're going to talk about how to have quad vision. And this is where you have forward sight, so foresight, insight, oversight, and hindsight. Kind of a 360 view of your life, if you will. So the people that have gone through a great setback, one of the challenges that they're going to have is to quit looking backwards, to quit looking in their rearview mirror. If you think about a car, the windshield, the view forward is huge, and it's shaped proportionally to the direction where you should be looking forward. But one of the things that we like to do is if we've had a setback, is we want to look into the rear view mirror. And you think about a car, the rear view mirror is kind of small when it's compared to the windshield. And so one of the things that we're trying to do when we get stuck in between seasons is we're always trying to go back to the good old days. And the good old days aren't behind you, they're in front of you. And so this is something that we have to reconcile. The second group of people that we run into, and I would say what we hear coming out of their mouths is, I feel like such a loser. And I ask them, well, why do you feel like such a loser? And a lot of times these are the bravest people that have taken a lot of risks and a lot of chances, but maybe in their past season, they've tried things that just haven't worked. Maybe it's a business or a career, whatever they've tried to do, or a relationship or something, it hasn't worked. And they just feel like, gosh, I try all these different things and nothing seems to work. Well, I understand the pain of that. I've gone through seasons when nothing's worked in my life. And you have to really have that quad vision to understand what's really going on. The third type of group are the people that I guess would self-describe, and we call them the realist. And these are people that had desires to do things in life. They wanted to start a company. They wanted to go after that job. They wanted to, go after that man or go after that woman. But they were afraid to take risk, and they let it get away. And they were just people that were keeping it real, and they're realists, and they're afraid of taking risk. And that person suffers, they have a different pain inside them, and that is, God, what would have happened if I had really gone after the things that I thought mattered earlier in life? So you have the people that are from the setback community. And these are people that had something major happen, and they're always looking in the rearview mirror, and they're wondering, God, Lord, why did this happen? How did you let this happen? And then you have, of course, the people that we said that self-identify as serial losers. These are people that just everything they try, nothing seems to work. And they don't know what's wrong with them. And so they can't move on until they reconcile the past. And then this third category is the people that have always been afraid of taking risk, and they've played everything safe, and now they don't know how to navigate into this new season. There is a fourth one. We don't see a lot of them, and the fourth category are what we call the successful people, and everything they touch turns to gold, except they're not fulfilled. And I would say about 5 to 10% of the people that we see inside the CanaGlobal online community fall into that. The rest are really from these three other groups where there's a lot of pain in their life. They've gone through a painful season. They've come out of it, and they feel like they're stuck in between. So I want you to think about this. This week I'm writing an article about this. What I would say is this. If we could look back through the lens of Scripture or through God's lens of what you went through, and you find out that, a lot of people before me went through this same process. I'm not the only one. And so when I look through Scripture, and for instance, and I look at Job, well, Job had a great setback. The Apostle Paul had a great setback. I think a lot of people looked at Jesus and said he had a setback. A lot of people, now Jesus knew what he was here on the planet to do, but a lot of people who were his followers were, they were like, oh my gosh, they crucified him. What happened? And they didn't see the big plan, and they never saw it coming. So, regardless of your last life season, what's going on, as we get into explaining what quad vision is, and then the other thing is really true identity. Once you understand from the Creator who He says you are, and it's important to really get this in your spirit, it'll start to make sense of why He allowed a lot of these storms in your life, a lot of these things of our past. When we're looking at it correctly, we'll find that it's actually moved us to the place that we are right now. Perhaps in this past season, you've developed a lot of perseverance or endurance, or you've learned to trust God. Many times when we become uncomfortable, that's when we seek out the Comforter. So we're going to cover a lot of those things. I'm going to be writing an article tonight that I'll be sharing within the community. But I wanted to share this with you today because it's so important. If you come out of one of these groups and, life hasn't worked out the way you planned it, but here you are between seasons, it's important to have the right vision of what really went on. And so part of that, tomorrow I'm going to do a video and I'm going to talk about true identity and what the Scriptures say, what God says about you and what He's doing with you. So I hope in some ways that when you're listening to this today, you feel like, I can identify as being in one of those groups. Let me tell you something. Never shape your identity around your circumstances. Your identity is shaped. Who we are. We all have kind of this identity, this way that we want the world to perceive us. And then there's an actual way that the world does perceive us. And then God has a way. He's the creator of you. And when He's looking at you, He already sees the finished product. He's not at all worried about where you are in this season. And once you can see what He sees in this season, it's the potter and the clay. In the middle of the process, it's sometimes you look at your circumstances and you look at yourself and you say, gosh, am I ever going to amount to anything? Well, the Scriptures say you are, because God didn't create anybody to fail, and He created everybody with purpose. And so I really hope that during this week, with the different videos that we're going to make and the articles that we're going to talk about and the Table Talks video that we're recording, I believe, on Wednesday, and we'll probably release in the community Thursday or Friday, it'll help you in your journey move from one season to the next. So anyway, love you guys. I'm glad you're part of our community. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn or Facebook and you're not part of our community, I invite you to join. It's free for now. And so we're giving away 1 year membership into our community for anybody that joins. And so Gerald Duran with CanaGlobal signing off.